Instead of working together to fix our broken immigration system, the president says he's acting on his own. That's just not how our democracy works.
This is not a president who wants to work with Congress. Rather, this is a president who is openly defying Congress.
I believe that issues of this magnitude should always be resolved with the consent of the governed.
This is a tremendous presidential overreach. I will try to defund the effort for him to go it alone.
The action he's proposed would ignore the law, would reject the voice of the voters.
Now he's decided that it's okay because he's frustrated. What kind of a precedent does this set for future presidents?
The Constitution doesn't say the president should obey the law until he gets frustrated.
We had an election. He said his ballots were his policies were on the ballot. He lost in red states, purple states, blue states. The American people overwhelmingly ejected and rejected his policies.
This unilateral determination by the president to execute his vision that the American people clearly rejected in this past election, I think is the wrong way to do it.
This is where a president's saying, you're not going to act, I'm going to act, I'm going to force you into doing something that the Constitution doesn't allow me to do. That is serious. That is a serious encroachment on liberty.
I just think it's cynical. He looked at the fact that the American people have soundly rejected the policies of this president, and he desperately, and his political team desperately wants to get the topic changed.
The president is not in charge of writing law. That's Article 1, and I fear what he has done is torn Article 1 out of the Constitution, put it into his own pocket, and said, I'm now the legislative branch too.
He's not the first president to disagree with the Congress, but he may be the first president to consistently just ignore the separation of powers.
If he goes through with this and he sticks a finger in the eye of the American people with no thought about it, other than this is what I want to do and I'm going to do it.
Make no mistake, when the newly elected representatives of the people take their seats, they will act.
We stop having a constitutional system of checks and balances that's protected our liberty, and we move just to unilateral executive authority. It's the power of a monarch or an emperor.
That's a big difference from saying, I want some give and take. There's no give on his part.
I listened to all the humanitarian discussion. What about the rule of law? What about some compassion for the rule of law and the Constitution?
He's damaging the presidency itself.
We don't govern just because of the president's frustration.
He had the majority in the Congress, in the House for the first 2 years. He keeps saying this is such a high priority. If this was such a priority, he could have done this.
I have the absolute right to declare a national emergency. I haven't done it yet. I may do it. If this doesn't work out, probably I will do it.